overall, because you had said it, I think it was at WonderCon, that you thought you wanted the renewal because you thought Fringe was this close to becoming the greatest science fiction show ever. What I will, but what I'm curious also about, as a piece of television, what do you feel has been Fringe's accomplishment?
Been what?
As its greatest accomplishment as a show, as a piece of drama.
Yeah, okay. Without question, it's been the nature of the relationship between the principal characters. It's gone on this amazing path through the world of alternate science and the alternate universes and so forth. But the one thing that I think we do differently is we have these intense relationships. And certainly the big surprise to everyone was the relationship between Walter and Peter, particularly early in the piece. And then the devastation when that went away, and now what we want to do is to get it back again. I know that resonated with the audience probably more than anything else. This desperate love affair between Peter and Olivia. Oh God, it's so sad. And yet you can't understand how hard it is for them. That they want but they can't because of their personality and their inhibitions. That's a great love story. So you have that, you have these incredible friendships, and I mean, I for example, the friendship that my character has with Astrid, it's so beautiful. And we're also really good friends, so it's easy to play. The respect that, I might have for Broads, these are really rich interrelationships. That's what makes Fringe different from other shows.
How does it feel to see the end in sight then?
Well, it feels great because they've given us a chance to finish it. Seriously. So we can walk away, hopefully, having completed the grand story, but also as an actor saying, I've just done the greatest thing of all time. I've just had a character that I was able to resolve and play for 5 years. It's sort of like doing an epic play. It lasts for 5 years. That's also rare to have a character that doesn't become two-dimensional and stay in one place. I'll feel like when and if we achieve what we want to achieve, and we're going to have to work really hard to do it, then I'll be really satisfied.
John, you've mentioned that in several interviews that you really wanted this 5th season because you wanted to resolve the character of Walter. In your mind, how would you, if you were given, the pen to write Walter's story, how would that story look for you?
If a man, through his hubris and his misplaced love, his obsessiveness and his self-centeredness and his arrogance, performs an act which creates such havoc as Walter did, and then as a human being suffered the consequences of that with his insanity and his slow awakening again, then I reckon that there has to be eventually, as he has to pay the piper. He has to be responsible for what happened then. And we've had the things of him feeling sorry for himself. Okay, forget it. Anyone can feel sorry for themselves. But now he has to face it, look it in the eye, and do something about it. That would be a glorious character arc to take.
What about the difference between Walter that we know and are familiar with and the Walter of the future who's very serious and very together and not crazy?
Well, we don't know that yet. And no, seriously. I have some really hard work to do to finesse it because I don't want to play that character for 13 episodes. I don't think that that's particularly entertaining. I mean, it's a good character, but so that would almost make him into this really hard-ass character that doesn't care about human life, that doesn't feel great emotion and affection towards people. I'm not going to go there. So I've got to find a way to return to the more loving Walter, whilst still having that clarity of vision. That's my task.
Throughout the show, you've had a collection of incredible scenes and episodes and moments. For you, what was the sort of defining moment of Fringe?
Oh Lord, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I mean, there's so many moments, and Walter's so complex. There are moments with Peter at times. I think they showed a clip and reminded him of it. Was, "You're not my father." There was a moment we did with Walter talking to God in a chapel, which was so rich, and so emotional to play that stuff. There were the scene that I loved dearly was the Walter Walternut saying goodbye in the corridor at the end of last year. I thought that was a huge gift to me as an actor. There are a lot of them, and lots of funny ones too. But they are really deep. I'll remember those.
Throughout the show, Walter was losing a lot of guilt about causing the tear in the universe. So now that you closed that door, is Walter able to let go of that guilt?
Well, hopefully, but whether that, you see, I guess the link is whether that disruption, that tear in the universe, made it feasible, made us vulnerable to this movement from the observers. I think that's a feasibility. I think that's a possibility. So somehow or other we need now to deal with the greater threat. The greater threat being, and this is a huge, it's sort of like a global threat thing we're talking about here. It's in the papers all the time. We're ruining our world, and sort of, what? And we talk about it every day, don't we, through global warming and through arms build up and so forth. We're ruining our world. And that's kind of what's happened. And we've made ourselves vulnerable because of carelessness to being taken over. And so now they need to find a way to bond and to properly work together as a society to get back the world that they undervalued. Yes, and they will. I hope.
Looking at the entire arc of the character, what sort of message do you feel like Walter has to give to the world?
Bear in mind that Walter started life as an old man. And I think what happens with a lot of older people that they reach a stage in their career and they lose confidence, they lose drive, and most importantly, they lose the sense of being useful. So if you talk to successful women and men who say, oh, I'm not useful anymore, and hence the depressions that come with that and that terrible deterioration that old age can be. I think Walter says to everyone, get up and do it. You've got so much more to give, and that's a really important point to make actually in our society at present. You are useful. You are really useful. And it's gorgeous because the other characters treat him that way. So instead of being the silly old mad scientist, they really value his opinion as much as he may irritate them at times. So it'd be nice to go back to a world where people were valued as in their senior years, as they used to be. That's a huge, and I know that's inspiring people because people talk to me about it.
You've gotten to work with Christopher Lloyd and Peter Weller. You even got to work with your daughter this last season. Anyone else out there you'd like to work with?
Oh, the list would be so long. And I've not heard anything about guest actors at all this year. I heard one bizarre one. God, what was it? Oh, someone said Robin Williams wanted to come and work with us.
Yes, I heard that too.
You heard that too?
I heard that too, yes.
Wow. Fancy trying to hold a scene with Robin Williams.
I'm not sure which one of you would be crazier.
I'll just do it, Robin, I'll follow.
There were like the rumours of the movies and things like that. How would you feel
I started them. I literally did.
Do you want to carry it on?
Yeah. I sort of thought I'd start that rumour.
It's a good one.
I know. Why not?
Do you want to do it? Start
I
the
heard
rumor,
about
right?
that. God, we better get working on it. Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, given the interesting thing about Fringe is it says, oh, it's a low-rating show. But when you actually look at the number of people that watch Fringe worldwide through all of the different, it's massive. It's got a massive audience around the world. So as a film, it could in fact have an extraordinary success rate because it's huge in South America, it's huge in Europe, So.
If there were a film, what timeline would you want it to be?
A what?
What universe or timeline would you want it to be?
That's a really good question. I'll have to think about that and start another rumour. Or perhaps we could do a franchise and do lots of them. Fringe 1, 2 and 3 in different universes.
Thanks, guys.
Fringe meets... I haven't finished yet.
All
Fringe
right.
meets...
Thank you, guys.
You have to wait for the sequel. Thank you.